Hello everyone, so a very long video here for you today. So a Twitter user, Kursk, who's a member of the Ukrainian Marine Corps and currently serving in Kursk, has shared a bunch of videos and photos showing work of Ukrainian units in Kursk. It shows a good compilation of many destroyed Russian vehicles. Many of these haven't been seen before, so they are newly confirmed losses, so I thought it definitely worth a look. Some of them, but not all, have been geolocated. If you've been geolocated, I will of course show where exactly it is overall in Kursk. So let's have a look. Most of these are still images, like this one here from a drone feed. Hopefully we'll get the drone video later on. But this is a T-72B3, destroyed by Kriegsforscher himself. His tweet is a little confusing, saying he managed to capture a signal from a Russian FPV drone and then found the T-72. I assume this means that there was maybe a Russian FPV drone carrying out spotter work for this tank, which he detected, or a drone operator nearby it. No location was given for this one. The next one shows a T-72B3M stuck in a ditch. Now, the red markers I've added here, unfortunately, cover up cows. No context was given as to what happened to them. This stuck tank was then hit by a number of drones, leading to its complete destruction. This has been geolocated by Mark Lassen to be near Zeleny Shilyak. At the end of the video, I will zoom out to show overall where all these losses are. I'm trying to use a different colour for each. So this one, the T-72B3, is in blue. This next image shows a T-80BVM abandoned near a cluster of buildings. Mark Lassen geolocated this one as well, to be shown here, in purple, in Snagost town itself. Here, a destroyed T-80BVM, lying on a patch of soiled ground like a lass from Mansfield after a Friday night. This here is the same T-80BVM from a different angle, showing it to be near the train tracks. I don't have the exact location for it, but given the train tracks is either here, on the eastern part of the Kursk offensive near Sudja, or on the line heading from Koronivo past Snagost like so. As we'll see later, all of the losses we see are in the western part of Kursk, so I expect this is from near Koronivo train track. Now moving on, another damaged and abandoned T-80BVM here. The T-80BVM has been seen a lot in Kursk. It seems to be the most commonly used tank by Russia in this region. A picture story here of the fate of another T-80. No video is shared, just screenshots from the drone footage. We see a T-80BVM lurking in the woods, trying to disguise itself as a shrubbery. Then, the T-80 on fire in the woods. Then finally, the same T-80BVM destroyed in the woods. This is the work of the 82nd Brigade. Another unfortunate T-80BVM here. T-80BVM looking a bit of a whipping boy, isn't it? It's like its sole purpose in life is to be destroyed by Ukraine. Up next, and would you Adam and Eve? Yet another T-80BVM. This one has a hose on top for some reason, and some suspicious white residue on its backside. I think this photo came from a T-80's OnlyFans account. And here, the aftermath, after it meets a drone set on fire. This was here initially identified by the uploader as being surprise surprise, another T-80BVM. But Mark Lassen on Twitter, who did the geolocation, found a video showing it, which I can't play because it's jam-packed with soldiers who just go flying everywhere after a strike. But it was a BTR. This is here, yellow, east of Novoivanovka. Novoivanovka is still in Ukrainian hands. So this BTR either pushed through and was then hit, or Russia temporarily did recapture it, but Ukraine counter-attacked and regained control. I'm not sure which. This one is from mid-October. Some BMP-3s here. Here, a damaged and abandoned BMP-3. The uploader says a few FPV drones hit this one, but it didn't burn. And here, two pictures of a BMP, which didn't just do a turret toss, it did an entire half toss, or top half disintegration. You can see the turret lying on that blue thing just above it, but all the top of the chassis is completely gone. An abandoned BMP here. This one, it reports hitting with a couple of FPV drones, but we didn't manage to fully destroy it yet. And another BMP-3, abandoned in the middle of the field. And the same one here, on fire. Mark Lassen did do a geolocation for this one, so it's added to our map in black, just outside of Liubimovka, as seen here. Next up, an image which looks somewhat familiar to me. This shows an abandoned Scooby-Doo van, a BMP-3, and a third vehicle I don't recognise and which wasn't identified. Now, I recognise the Scooby-Doo van and the vehicle above it from a past video I did, but I can't re-find the video. The BMP-3 is new though. I recall this was along the road here between Snagost and Liubimovka. Next image, 5 destroyed vehicles here, some of which are nothing more than a pile of scrap metal. Others are abandoned. The one on the right hand side is a BTR-82. The others are BMP variants. Mark Lassen on Twitter geolocated these to be in the area of a pink dot. A BMP-3 here, seen stuck in the mud. Some interesting ones here. So this photo here shows an IMR-2 engineering vehicle designed for clearing mines, filling trenches and breaking down barricades. This one, it's hard to tell. Either it got stuck in a ditch or, given the fishing net around it, got itself caught by Captain Ahab. There's a second video of it smoking here. So this is after a drone strike. These are based on a T-72. Another destroyed IMR-2 here. And here, yet another one, destroyed and abandoned in a field. These are relatively rare. There's just 39 up on Oryx, not including these ones. I wonder if these were here to clear away mines and fortifications laid by Ukraine, or if it's to deal with Russia's own fortifications and trenches and minefields that they placed and are now being used by Ukraine. Could be a mixture of two. And here, another IMR-2. Not sure what hit this one, no more context was given. This one's been added to our map in grey here, so it's south of Obukovka. Here, a new type of vehicle for this video, a BTS-4, smoking still. At least, the uploader says it was identified as a BTS-4. We can't tell for certain on the photo. These are quite rare, so here's a photo of one. It's an armoured recovery vehicle based on the T-55. Mark Lassen geolocated this one, north of Vyakhovo, shown in brown. And a vehicle here, which Mark Lassen ID'd as possibly being a BMD too. This one, we also have a geolocation, again by Mark Lassen. So it's here, the road into Liubimovka. 2 more BMP-3s here. Looks like they may have been hit together, as they're destroyed or abandoned in pretty much the same place, next to each other. This image here, a BTR-82 on fire. Further down the road, there's 2 unidentified wrecks. One of them looks to be a BMP variant, and a 4th vehicle further up the road. These have been geolocated as well, so these are along the road leading from Koronivo as shown on this map image. The next batch we don't have any geolocation for a while, but it's a long list of photos of vehicles to come. So, another BTR-82 here, completely destroyed, and a BTR-82 with a very impressive coat cage here, abandoned and damaged. Now, this video is going much longer than I thought, but I'm not complaining. Looking at retro-Russian vehicles is very satisfying, doubly so when we're in Kursk. And good news, we have many more to come. So here we have a burned out BTR-82 with a coat cage, a Scooby-Doo van that looks like it got trod on by Godzilla, and a Scooby-Doo van where only the supporting structure remains. Another BTR-82 here, looks like it was hit whilst in a dug-in position of some kind. And here, yet another abandoned BTR-82. Hidden by the white box is one of the crew. This one you can see had one of its wheels blown off. By the side of the road on this image, you can see a BTR-82 destroyed. So these are very certainly having a very unhappy time in Kursk. And I bet you won't be surprised at all to hear that this isn't the last of the BTR-82s. Here's another one, blackened and with its turret missing. And here, one that's still smoking, so a recent hit. And yet another BTR-82. This one abandoned by the side of the road. And the growing list of BTRs doesn't end here. Yet again, one more BTR-82. Looks like it has burning and signs of damage at the top. Now here, we move briefly away from the BTR-82 for a rare BTR-MDM, a tracked APC used by airborne troops. Just 44 of these are on Oryx so far, so these are quite a bit rarer than other armoured fighting vehicles and APCs. Back to the BTR-82s here. This one, damaged and abandoned. The uploader says this one was from the 155th Marine Brigade. Next up we have a mixed bunch of vehicles. Firstly, another BTR-82, surprise surprise, missing a turret. Then, a BMP-3, followed by another BMP-3. A rarer vehicle here, So this is a BRDM armoured scout car, abandoned and looks to be in pretty decent condition. But it isn't in decent condition anymore. Here it is in the process of getting drone dropped, and here the aftermath, showing it now to be just a burned out husk. These are actually quite rare in Ukraine, only 16 on Oryx, and here an unidentified tank of some kind. Now, we have one which is geolocated here, a BMP-2 to the side of the road. A little to the right is a burned out car, followed by an unidentified chunk of wreckage of some armoured vehicle or another. So once again, you can see that these ones are on that big road leading out of Koroneva. 3 more now with no geolocation. BMP-2 here, given the craters likely a victim of artillery. An unidentified tank can be seen in this image here. And finally, a burned out BMP variant. Now, some here which we've seen before in an old video as I recognise them, but worth a second look. So this is an abandoned BMP-2 next to an ACMAT MRAP. The ACMAT is used by Kaderov's TikTok brigade. Added to our map here by Mott Classen, so this one's shown in a turquoisey colour. On this image we just have a crater, reported as originally being the position of a 2S9 Nonna self-propelled mortar. Now, I'm no mechanic, but I don't think this one can be repaired. I could be wrong, and I'm sticking my neck out a bit with this one. 2 more which we've seen before here, a BMP-2 and another BMP-2 with damage to its tracks. Here, you can see the same 2 vehicles near each other. These are here along the road from Obukovka, as seen by the reddish marker. Now, an odd one here. So this shows a BMP which crashed and then got stuck on the wreckage of a BMD-2, and so was abandoned. So some excellent driving there. An abandoned BMP-2 on this image, followed by 2 more BMP-2s, both of them missing turrets. Now, a side note, when I started writing this video, I hadn't taken a look at the thread itself in full, and had no idea it was this big, featuring so many vehicles. This is a lot, the majority of them newly confirmed ones, so War Spotting no doubt had a busy day adding these to Kursk's tally, which I will have a look at very soon. There are actually 2 vehicles here. First at the top, an abandoned truck of some kind, but further down, that pile of wreckage near the craters is what once was a BMD-2. Gonna stick my neck out again here and say that can't be repaired. This one we have seen before. It's added to the map in gold near Zeleny Shilyak. This geolocation done once again by Mott Classen. Some photos here showing a pair of wrecked and abandoned BMD-2s. Mott Classen on Twitter puts them as being here, south of Obukovka. An abandoned BMD here, which also has some sort of odd abandoned trailer behind it. Not sure if this was being towed by the BMD or if it's a remnant from something else. Here, a BMD-2, presumably driven by Mr. Bagoo, which has got itself wedged into a trench. And here, an abandoned BMD-2 again. A new location here too, geolocated by Mott Classen to be near Volfino, near the border. We are getting near the end now, thankfully, as all my tea is nearly gone. This image here showing a pair of abandoned BMD variants in the woods. A rarer vehicle here. So this is a VPK Ural MRAP. Just 6 of these on Oryx so far, so these are quite rare losses. And here, yet another VPK Ural. This one is next to a Ukrainian Cossack MRAP. Now here's an interesting one. This is a Russian MRAP whose type I don't recognise with a gun mounted on top. I thought at first it was an ACMAT, but the sides don't match. Could be a brand new type of vehicle, or just something quite obscure. At the rear, it looks to have an attached jammer of some kind. So, hopefully somebody who watches the video can recognise it and tell me what this is. Another unidentified MRAP here, and another one that's just a blackened husk. I think one of these is a Tiger M, but I can't be certain. 2 more 6-wheeled MRAPs destroyed here. I wonder if these are just different variants of the ACMAT. And here, a final MRAP. Now, our first MTLB is here. These are actually used quite rarely in Kursk. We don't see these much here at all compared to the Eastern Front, and they seem to be more in Ukraine itself. Now, I saw a few reports saying that Russia is actually running quite low with these now, and these are Russia's main workhorse. They're its main APC, and the best APC. And that's bad news for Russia if these are running short. But that may not be true. Whilst Russia has lost a lot of them, we can't actually say for sure how many are actually in storage. For example, nobody knew that Russia had a bunch of T-55s in storage ready to be sent to Ukraine's front lines. So Russia may have more of these in storage than we know. Another VPK Ural MRAP is shown on this image here. On this image we can see an abandoned Kamaz truck here, full to the brim with supplies. This is taken from a screenshot a few seconds before a drone hit it. The video of the drone strike wasn't actually released by the uploader though. Given the amount of toilet paper, I can only assume the driver thinks the pandemic is still on. A tank is shown here. Just above the tank you can see a pair of BTR-82s abandoned as well. On this image, a BMP-2 and a BTR-80. A blurred photo of a Ural truck that was hit. And finally, we're going to be finishing with a video. The uploader didn't share many videos, so let's finish off with this one. This shows a strike on an abandoned Ural supply truck. Now, only a handful of these were geolocated. We can see where these were all hit west of Suja, and all part of Russia's ongoing Kursk counteroffensive. Not a phrase I expected to say when this war first started. And that was a lot of vehicles we covered today. Many of these new ones we hadn't seen before. You can see war spotting has been pretty quick off the mark. I did 33 new vehicles to the Kursk list here. So, of the vehicles we looked at, 33 of them are newly confirmed. Some of them are a few weeks old, so this is more evidence that the lists we see are on the low side, and not every vehicle is going to be photographed or documented. The situation in Kursk has been pretty static for a while now, with no real movement on either side. So, things are a stalemate. But we saw here, Russia is losing equipment at a high rate on the area of Snagost, the counter-offensive which are carrying out on the western part of Kursk. That's a lot of armour we saw in this video on the photos, and a good mixture of vehicles as well. Now, that's it for this video, but I have a new fundraiser here. Today's fundraiser is actually for Kursk, whose photos we looked at today. His Twitter link is in the description if you want to have a look. Now, he celebrated his birthday yesterday when he uploaded this bunch of photos, and he's raising funds for his unit to buy various equipment that we need. He has a Buy Me a Coffee and also a PayPal. If you want to donate, I recognise PayPal as Buy Me a Coffee takes a snippet of every donation. Using PayPal, it will all go to him. Though actually, I think PayPal takes a snippet as well. I'm not too certain on that. I don't use PayPal myself very much. Donation links are in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and take care everybody.